Okay then, so if you've watched the previous videos on this, and you'll realise our problems that we've had then. So basically, what's happened is and I probably would have mentioned this already, but the first race then has been null and voided because a couple of other people want to join. So we're going to have another couple of cars in the next one. And so we counted it as pre-season testing, which is great because we needed a bit of pre-season testing. We've realised our mistakes here. And the biggest mistake by far from the camper was the fact that it's too top heavy. So any time it came into contact with anybody else, my one always came off worse and always fell over. So what we've got to do, we've got to lower the body and bring all of the weight as low as possible on it. Other issues we had were there's a tendency for it to rear wheel steer. It has got rear wheel steering, but what I did is I disconnected it completely and cable tied it up, and I also tied up the rear suspension to stop it from having any travel, which worked because without it, what was happening is as it went round corners, it would roll and it would naturally rear wheel steer on the wheels anyway, and I'd have too much lean angle on it. So this had to be done, but the problem is obviously with no rear suspension on there at all, then again I had the fall over problem all the time, didn't I? So what we're going to do then, we've got 4 weeks till the next race, so we've got to do our modifications to it. We've got plenty of time to do it. So we're going to lower the weight, get rid of all of this big bracket, lower the body down as low as possible. It means we'll have to cut all of the arches out of the body. Notice that the little Mini that was racing, Dave's car, was faster than anybody else's, and that's because he went bigger on the wheels. He had a bigger circumference on the wheels. So I just bought this for 50p at a charity shop, and the wheels don't fit, they're different wheels, but I'm going to use the tyres then. So what I'm going to do, and I've just tried this and it works. Now, I haven't driven it, but in theory it will work perfectly. I'm going to retread my tyres then, okay? So what this will do, it'll give me a slightly bigger diameter, so it'll make it the interior's width faster, but I'm still going to have pretty good acceleration out of it as well. So we're going to try this, and it's easily removable as well. If it doesn't work, they're on there nice and tight, so they're not going to slip or anything. And the other beauty of this is as well is rolling resistance. Now then, this is the original tyre, flat, and this is our new tyre, and you can see it's oval, so it should in theory only give us or it should give us less resistance against the road anyway. Okay, so that should help us with our speed a little bit. So we're going to do this to all of the 4 tyres, and we're going to lower this, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the rear suspension, but I'm going to have to figure something out on it. Okay, so I'll come back to you in a while. Serious stuff, this. Serious stuff. There are only 3 rules to this. You would have read the rules if you watched the videos before. No changing the motor, no changing from a 6-volt battery, and no other rules. And already there's discussion on the rules, and we've had to have a caveat, add a caveat to them, which I'll show you in a little while. But those are the rules. So essentially we can do anything we want to do. Okay, I'll come back to you. Okay, so we've junked the bracket, that's gone, and we're just looking at the suspension in a minute. So what I've done, this is an original shock absorber, and what I need to do is stiffen up the suspension, but I still need suspension, and I also want to reduce the travel a little bit. So, original suspension. What I've done with this one then is I've put a secondary spring down in here, okay, and what that does is it makes it a lot stiffer, and it reduces the travel as well because it only has that much travel now. Okay, so I'm going to do this for all 4 of them. and I'll come back to you. Nice job this, I tell you. We're going to turn this into a boy racer-mobile. Okay, I reckon we're done with this, you know. Okay, so we've done all of the shock absorbers. Fantastic. We've retreaded our tyres as well, so the profile is a little bit bigger, and they should have a bit less rolling resistance with a bit of luck. What I've done then with the rear steering, now I disconnected the rear steering and jammed up the wheels at the back so they couldn't move. They always stayed the same. However, I have reinstated the rear steering because I think with the suspension mods, and if we lower the weight of the body on there and get the weight lower down, then I think actually the rear steering is probably going to be quite a good thing to have. So I've pushed it a little bit, pushing it with obviously a Rizzler packet, as anybody sensible would. So now it's a little bit tighter. There's a little bit less play in it than there was. So in reality, all we've got to worry about now is the body and getting the body sitting down there and there a bit lower. And all the weight. This is quite... Actually, it doesn't weigh anything. But, you know, in relative terms, we're going to junk this completely. And we need to get the camper lower. Okay? The body lower. Okay then, suspension done. Tyres done. Brackets, look at these brackets now. How much better is this? So all we did is we got a bit of wire. I've got a bit of wiring conduit in the garage, heated it up with a hot air gun, and then just bent it into shape. And it's fantastic because you could just heat it up and bend it again if it's in the wrong shape or in the wrong place. And nothing high up now then, so everything's going down low. Okay, so I've drilled some holes in it. I've drilled some holes in the side of the bus. So now I'm just going to bolt it on. Okay, first test, brilliant, brilliant. No body roll at all, or hardly any body roll at all. I can use the rear wheel steering, which I couldn't use before because it just rolled over. And yeah, look at it, looks the part now, doesn't it? Look. Yeah, fantastic. Now then, with the we get a lot of vibration from the tyres. Obviously, where we put the tyres on, they're not quite round, and so it vibrates a lot. But it goes like a rocket. Well, relatively speaking. So we're going to try it like this and see. But we can always take them off easily enough if it causes us a problem. However, I think the video camera on top is going to rattle around like anything else. But yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, good stuff. So. Should we try and put some arches on it? Maybe we'll put some arches on it, make it neaten it up a little bit, but I don't know if we will. If it's too much effort, we'll just leave it like it is. Oh, I just can't wait to race it again now. I can't wait. I can't wait. Brilliant. Okay, I'll speak to you in a while. Come on, check out the bus, man. It is awesome. Okay. So we have put some arches on it, so we've got a bit of plastic going around there, and then obviously duct tape, just the plastic is glued on, but everything is covered in duct tape, because I just don't want it to break too much. And rear spoiler, check out the rear spoiler. This is going to give us a bit of downforce on the back, because it's going to be so fast now, we're worried about losing the back end going around the corners. And obviously the obligatory racing numbers, because it is now a race van. Okay, so we've done away with the synchro. Synchro was no good for what we wanted, so now we've gone full race with it. So yeah, check her out. Now we're going to leave all of the battle scars and everything on it. We might put some stickers on it as well at some point or other. But yes, we are ready. We are ready for the next round. Let's hope everybody else is. Now then, I have to say I've increased the budget. Tyres, you know, I said I've retreaded the tyres, and I think that's kind of the way I want to go with it. Or rather, I've got the right tyre size. The problem is I've got too much vibration. I can't make them round enough. And I want to put a camera on the top so we can get a bit of in-van footage next time round. So I've actually added a tenner to the budget. and I've ordered some wheels for this thing. Okay, read it and weep, everybody else in this championship. I've spent some money, £10. So they're not going to fit straight away, because they won't, but we'll figure that out when they come. However, they're not going to be here for the first round. So for the first race, we will probably, they got to come all the way from China. We'll probably have to remove it. We'll probably have to run on standard tyres. But we've got a spoiler. We've got a spoiler. Awesome. Good stuffs. Okay, so we will, well, I won't. I'll come back to you again when we've got the next, when we've actually managed to race it, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, okie doke. I'd just like you to know, this isn't actually stopping me from doing the bike. I'm doing this in between when I'm waiting for things to happen on the bike. Okay, I'll catch up with you soon.